All right, guys. Thank you for filling out the survey. I just kind of want to take a minute to go over the data, the results that I got back from you guys, and maybe show you guys some things that are interesting that maybe you wouldn't have picked up on by yourselves. So let's take a look at that real quick. Let's go ahead and jump in with number three, question number three. The first two questions were kind of just to get you guys thinking about different things that are out there. Which way is the number one way you usually prefer to communicate with others? 37% of you said that you prefer text messaging. The next closest with 33% was face-to-face communication. And then after that at 22% was Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. Pretty evenly distributed there. Go ahead and throw FaceTime and Google Hangouts in there, and you've got about a 2-to-1 ratio of people preferring to talk not face-to-face as opposed to talking face-to-face. And we'll kind of come back to that in a little bit. Next, what do you think your classmates would say is the number one way they usually communicate with others? A little less than 20% of you, and that's 1 out of 5, think face-to-face communication is how your classmates would prefer to communicate. So that means over 80% think they'd rather communicate from behind a screen. We'll come back to that here in a little bit, okay? Number 5, since quarantine, have you started using any form of communication other than what you used to use? No surprise here, the answer was yes. Number 6, if you answered yes to the previous question, what have you started using more? The biggest increase, I guess, or biggest new thing that people are using now is more text messaging, and that's followed by video conferencing. And I think it should be worth mentioning that 2 people have even started talking on the phone. So, welcome to the 1990s. All right, number 7. In school, would you rather explain a process to your teacher or take a multiple choice fill in the blanks test? And 80, almost 85% of you said that you would rather take the multiple choice test, and only 15% would want the chance to explain. Here's why I think this is interesting. In a multiple choice fill in the blanks test situation, you are either correct or incorrect. Whereas if you were explaining a process to someone, you could at least maybe, hopefully, get partial credit for things where you were on the right track, but maybe not 100%. So I would have gone with the explaining process rather than the multiple choice test, but that's just me. Number 8, how would you describe how you usually feel when you meet someone face-to-face for the first time? Nervous and anxious were the big winners here, and that's not really a big surprise. Meeting someone for the first time face-to-face, that's usually a pretty high-stress situation. Number 9, pay attention here. How does talking, not texting, snapping, FaceTime, Zooming, to someone when you can't see them, like if you're talking over the phone, make you feel? 70.4% said that you prefer to talk face-to-face. So, what you're saying is, if you can't see someone when they're talking to you, you don't like that scenario, so you'd rather see them. You'd rather be face-to-face. That's interesting, because 70% of you said, wait, I prefer face-to-face. Okay? So, number 10, remember that on number 9, we're going to come back to it. Number 10, do you prefer face-to-face conversation or texting instant messaging? This one's pretty half and half, almost split right down the middle. 11, when talking to someone in person, face-to-face, which do you feel is most important? This is fairly evenly distributed. It's almost a third, and a third. But what's interesting is that as a class, you got the right answer. It's just that you waited until the next question to give the right answer. In other words, the answer was correct, but for the wrong question. You'll see what I mean here in a second. When spotting a lie, what is the biggest giveaway? 70% of you said it is body language that is most important, and that's correct. So back up at 11, when talking to someone in person face-to-face, which is most important, you guys didn't all say with the same frequency as you did down here that body language is most important. When I put this word in here, a lie, what's the biggest giveaway? You guys jumped all over that. You said, oh, it's their body language. So you were right. It's just you waited to give the right answer until we got to the next question. Number 13, do you think your classmates prefer face-to-face conversation or texting, instant messaging? 85% said that you think your classmates prefer to text. So now let's go back up to number 9. Back in number 9, 70% of you said you yourself would rather be face-to-face. So what you're saying is, I would rather be face-to-face, probably so you can see body language and you can hear the tone in their voice. But I bet they would rather be behind a screen. That's kind of interesting to me. So you are saying, hey, I like to be able to see the person, but I bet everybody else would prefer to be behind a screen. Wonder why that is. And then finally, 14, this one was really just more for fun. How would you rate the conversations you have with your best friend? I'm glad none of you said that your conversations with your best friend are always serious. That's probably not a best friend, that's probably a therapist. Okay, so those are some takeaways from the survey that you guys took. What I would like for you to do now is there is a Google form with a couple questions on it. I want you to fill out the Google form. It'll be due on Monday, and good luck with it.